Is this thing on? Oh, okay, there we go. Bam. Okay, that's good. Woo! Thought I'll never get that done. All right. Good morning, everyone. What's going on? Good morning from cloudy and rainy Texas. I don't know what's going on with this weather. It's insane right now. But nevertheless, I think we should be good to go. I always use real weather in my flight, so if it's pretty bad outside, I try not to stream. So it's been a little bit, but anywho, we're here. Today it's just I actually just found this livery, but it's on xplane.org for those of you who haven't checked it out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have, but this flavor is from a company called JetSuite. They do a lot of routes and things, and a lot of routes and charter trips and all that fun stuff in over in California. But it's kind of weird because they're based in Dallas. The corporate headquarters is, so it was a little odd. Anyway, Embraer 135. Sure, everyone has seen this thing already. Bam, jump in there. All right, cool. So we're at Addison Airport in Dallas, Texas, and I'm gonna try to get down to Corpus Christi. That's the plan, at least. The weird thing is I've been having some problems with my joystick. I think it's on its way out. My SciTech yoke. I think she's on her way out, so I'm using my backup, my Thrustmaster T1000, my Terminator joystick. Not really, but it's like $40 or something like that. But solid joystick, Hall effect sensors, and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to try it, and hopefully that works. I mean, it feels pretty good, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, so go ahead and hit my GPU, get all that warmed up. And while we're doing that, I wanted to show you guys this as well, but I haven't found an efficient way of doing it. I'm using Garmin Pilot on my iPad, and the reason why I'm using that instead of SimBrief is because I'm making a transition from ForeFlight and for my real world flying, and trying something different, a little different. Hopefully it works out. So if it's a little wonky, just bear with me. Just bear with me. Okay, so Corpus Christi. Got my nav light on. Just started to get everything kind of warmed up here. I don't need that right now. fuel pumps. Yeah, fire up the APU here in a minute. Just go ahead and fire it up. At least get some ground air going on. Oh, so while that's warming up, I'm gonna go ahead and I think there's a building behind us, so that's why this shadow is being cast. But while that's firing up, I'm about to jump in here on the old tablet and try to figure this thing out. So I want to do. It's pretty intuitive. Man, I wish I can show you guys this. Oh heck, I don't know. I have to do a separate video or something. I don't know. So flight plan. So Kilo Alpha Delta Sierra, and then I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna see. I want to test the auto routing. So you guys a little outside view while I'm doing that. So Kilo Alpha Delta Sierra to Kilo Charlie Romeo Papa. Alright, so it's Corpus Christi. So go to routing, and it should give me some of the planned ATC routings that's been used in the past. So I'm about to check that out here. It looks like a lot of them use Joe Pool 9 for the departure. Well, gee whiz, how far is this place? Shouldn't be that far. Alright, we'll do 280. So Joe Pool 9 to basically transition off of San Antonio, Victor 163 to Skids, and then to the CRP VOR. Or we can do flight level 300. You know what? Let's see here. Let's go back. How far is this? Alright, cool. So let's do that one. Let's do that one. Alright. So what I like about Garmin Pilot, like I said, I'm sorry you guys can't see it. I really want to show it, but we'll go here to settings, and then as long as you have this option checked here, and I'll show you guys real quick, go to network and then iPhone, iPad, external apps. As long as you have that checked and have your IP address there and your port number, then that sends the data straight to your iPad or whatever you're using for Garmin Pilot. Now, ForeFlight has the same thing. It's just implemented a little differently. So you simulator data. Hopefully it connects and doesn't be weird. It worked all day yesterday, so one would hope. Of course, we're not receiving data. Or did the IP address change? Let's double check the IP address real quick. So yeah, it did. So I think it changed from 23 to 16. So good old DHCP for you. That should be port numbers the same. So we're done. Oh my gosh, Lord in heaven, I'm receiving data. Okay, so we'll go here back to home. There's our old flight plan there. There we go. Flight plan routing. You know, man, I don't want to do that. Let's do 260. Alright, so 260 right there, calculating route. Alright, done. We're done. Alright, we'll jump back in the flight deck here and get this thing ready to go. We'll initialize FMS. I still haven't figured out what that did yet, but we'll do that. And go to departure, Kilo Alpha Delta Sierra for Addison Airport. Throw that in there. And what's the weather in Addison this morning? Let's see, weather in Addison. So we got wind straight out of the east at 8 knots, gusting 15, ceiling is unlimited, visibility 10 statute miles, temperature 72 degrees Celsius, dew point 66, altimeter 2994. All right, cool. So if we're coming right out of the east, I would say we'd favor 1-5. Don't you guys agree? Now it doesn't pull up SIDS here for some reason. That's that's the little quirk about this Tecton FMS that they did. You don't have that flexibility. I mean, you might be able to do it with the X-Plane FMS bias. Yeah, it'll be alright. So arrival will be Kilo, Charlie, Romeo, Papa. Throw that guy in there. Bam, just like that. And runway. Didn't think about that yet. Let's see, let's go over here to CRP. So the winds right now are out of the southeast at 120 at 9 knots. So we'll put no, gonna need to look at a chart for that. So let's do this. Let's go. Talking myself through it, folks. Bear with me. Hold on. Alright, charts, destination, CRP. Alright, let's see what we're working with here. Alright, so 1-3 is a fairly long runway, 7,500 feet. So it's pretty decent sized runway. So I think we'll do 1-3 this morning. 1-3 for that guy. Do they have a star? No, they don't have a star. Approach transition. Alright, we'll pit skids. We'll do that there. And yeah, ILS 1-3, we'll throw that in there. Now route, this is going to be a little different because the planned route is using Joe Pool 9. Now we could manually put all these waypoints in here, but it'd be like 4 days for us to do that, and we don't have that kind of time. So alright, so Joe Pool 9 is Victor 163. You know, we'll do that. So we'll do Joe Pool 9, kind of, sort of. We'll do a pseudo Joe Pool 9. So we'll have to manually, because I don't see any other way. I'm assuming okay. Yeah, we'll just do that. So we'll go to route, add route. TT, that's Maverick. Alright, so we'll do VOR. Tango, Tango, Tango. Put that in there. Altitude, heck, I don't know. We'll do 11,000. There we go. Save that. Nealon, which will be a fix. We'll type in November Echo Lima. Where's that Yankee at? Am I right? Yep, Yankee. November. Throw that in there just like that. Then, at that point, what's that cruising altitude? What was it, 280? Alright, so at that point, we'll go ahead and save this right here, and then we'll do 28,000 feet. So 28,000 feet in there, and Waco. We'll put in Waco. 28,000 feet, just like that. Then Ore is a fix. Did I save it? Oh yeah, I already saved it. So that's a fix. And that is Hotel Oscar Alpha Romeo Yankee. And we'll throw that in there, just like that. And 28,000 feet will be the cruising altitude. Oh, still not done. Alright, San Antonio, that's VOR. So we'll save that one. VOR SAT. Yeah, that's right. All right, SAT. Okay, save that. Now this should be a little easier for us. What we'll do, we'll go to Airways, and this is now. I'm assuming the logic behind this. This is pulling all of the airways that's coming off the San Antonio VOR. What we'll need to do, we'll need to find Victor 163 that takes us all the way south to Skids, which we'll probably need to hit the next page for that. And it's not there. I don't know, maybe it's me, but this thing seems like it finds everything except what you're looking for. See if I can find something at least in the neighborhood. Zamley, no. Embo, that's one there. Oh, we'll do that, I guess. Embo. Select. Alright. Choose exit waypoint. Oh, so apparently you can. You just have to pick the exit waypoint. So, Skids. Bam. Alright. So that's that. Let me double check here, make sure we're good to go. So, just double check. Joe pulled 9 to San Antonio VOR. Victor 163 to Skids. Transitioning to CRP and then to Corpus Christi. That's the plan, at least. So I think I can close that for now. Now, like I said, I'm pulling this all off of Garmin Pilot, so I apologize because I really wanted to show you guys that. It's actually a pretty interesting alternative to ForeFlight. Those of you who currently using ForeFlight. So fuel on board, we'll do 7,000. The reason why I say 7,000 is because there is some weather in the area, so we'll try to mitigate that. We'll probably be using Houston as an alternate. Alright, so I got my trim set there. Then we got to go here to this performance page and we'll do 28,000 feet. And Mach 0.72 for the cruise speed Mach. So 355 miles, roughly 53 minutes worth of flight time, give or take. And cruise winds, I don't know. Oh, excuse me. Woo, I don't even have the weather pulled up yet for that. So actually, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Oh man, excuse me. Sinuses. Be cool if it gave you some weather, but it didn't. Or at least some cruise winds. Actually, let me do this. Let me do layers, overlays, wind. All right, cool. So. Winds are 261 right there at 52 right there. All right, now with everything all said and done, we can hit the, I say that, I just want to make sure I'm right. Yeah, everything, yeah, we did that. Okay, cool. Because once you hit execute, the only way you can unscrew what you screwed up is starting from scratch, and no one wants to be in that from scratch line. Anywho, I think we are about ready. So got the AP on. I didn't even turn the bleeds on, so we'll turn the bleeds on, packs on, get some air conditioning back there. And let's see, flight plan is set, that's in there. We'll go ahead and wind this guy on up to 28,000. 280-ish. We're gonna get there eventually. Hold on, let me get my little cursor on there. There we go. 280. Seatbelt signs on. That's done. And drum roll, please. I think we're good to go. Oh, do that. I know. Chase. So we'll go ahead and close this stuff up. So we'll go to our menu, close that guy up, disconnect that guy, and jump back in the little deck here. Hit that rotating beacon. Make sure I'm not missing nothing. Electric hydraulic pumps on. We'll leave that on for right now. Yeah, it's kind of gusty. All right, let's go ahead and send it. So we'll go ahead and fire up number 2. Make sure we're clear on the right, and go ahead and start that right engine. If my oh my gosh, my sim just burped. My sim just burped. No. My sim just burped, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. Hold on, we got a crisis. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we just had a technical difficulty. As soon as I hit that start button, bam, we lost everything. So we'll fire it up and adapt and overcome. That's kind of weird. Actually, I had that yesterday, so I hit the start button, and whatever it did not like it, and it crashed. It was a pretty epic crash at that, but yeah, going back to what I was talking about earlier, I don't know what other alternative I can use for my my joystick. Like I said, it's dying. I had it for about 10 years. pretty close to 10 years. I know Honeycomb is doing one here pretty soon. So I'm trying to wait, but my joystick can't. So I need one in the worst way possible. So I got to do that. Then, like I said, I've been looking for flight alternatives because there has to be another way. I mean, you got a bunch of options for flight planning. WingX, iFly, you got a bunch of different ones, but you're really looking for that tool that gives you the capability of not having to, or not needing to look anywhere else for your data. I do appreciate the fact that on Garmin Pilot, it's also capable of being ran on Android devices as well, which is pretty nice. So, like my Samsung 10 Plus, it looks fantastic on that. So in the event, I don't know, spilled water on your iPad and it exploded or something in your lap, you still have your cellular or mobile device to get you where you need to go. Or, like I said, at the end of the day, you can always go back to the old school charts and, pull your old sectional out and, make it happen that way. So, I mean, you have a lot of options these days. When I first started, I didn't really, I think we had the E6B, little E6B quote unquote flight computer, which really wasn't a computer, which I guess if you want to look at technicalities, it was a computer. But it was a little spinny deal, you kind of rotated your, your cruise profile and all that stuff. You got your fuel burn and all that from your E6B, and that's all you had. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain users. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh. Why is this thing spazzing out? Hopefully that goes away. I'm not sure exactly why. I haven't dropped any frames. So if you guys, hopefully you guys aren't getting any buffering. Hopefully. If you do, I apologize. More info. YouTube's not receiving enough. What do you mean? Oh my gosh. I'll be fine. Let's see. Hopefully. Oh man. Well, that I think what it is too. I think it might be the extensive load times that I have with X-Plane. And it's just loading up the initial flight. Once I'm loaded, really don't have a whole lot of issues. Like I said, like for example, right now it's reading new scenery files, so that may fail to initialize UDP network. Okay, it's possible. What? What? You're killing me, Smalls. Come on now. We had no issues yesterday. All was well, no problems, and I be darned. Now we're having issues. We will make this flight though, one way or the other. We will make this happen. That is so weird. 'Cause like I said, we had no problems yesterday. Do you like the new Navigraph flight plan? Oh, absolutely. I run the app as well for my charts. Um, I mean, it works great. I haven't had any problems with it. I signed up for that monthly subscription, so you get all of the nav data updates, and you also get access to their chart app. So you sign in using your iPhone or Android device, whichever it may be, and I mean it's great. It's great. Like I said, I'm just using Garmin Pilot for now because like I said, I'm just trying to find an alternative, and rather I'm gonna turn that off right now. Can I resume last flight, or will that be weird? The new desktop charts app is awesome. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's phenomenal. We're gonna start a new flight because I don't want any additional issues. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm just this is kind of Garmin Pilot's trial run, so that's the reason why I got it running right now. But normally, I would just have my Galaxy up and my Navigraph charts up, and bam, there you go, you're done. Yes, it integrates amazingly with SimBrief, and if you have um, if you have sorry, my text. If you have something like oh, what is it? Like the AKRs type setups, like what Fly the Mad Dog has, FS Labs, and all those guys have. It integrates like you literally have to do nothing. It's almost like Dispatch sent you a release, and you can pull it up from the FMC or FMC and load it up and go. Which that's, I mean, pretty slick. So, with that being said, there's a lot of options out nowadays that we can use to, spend less time planning, especially in a sim. We don't, a lot of us, have other things going on, and, we try to squeeze in, some simming, um, when we can. And so spending additional time trying to, um, spending additional time trying to get all this set up, is a little time consuming. So, oh my gosh, Lord in heaven, we're back up. Woo! I say that. I still get this not. What do you mean you're not receiving enough? Not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. YouTube, I don't know what you're complaining about. Don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Hopefully that will know. I don't even know if you guys can see. Are you guys buffering at all? If so, please let me know. But I got no dropped frames or anything. Like I said, I think I spazzed YouTube out when I did that. Alright, so back to what we were doing. Let's see. Let's go back to departure here. And I'm going to do this. I'm using my keyboard since it's faster. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. I set D. There you go. I want to get this. I want to get this plane. Yeah, it's a really good aircraft. It's not study level, but it's a good rendition of the Embraer series. There are some issues, so you know don't expect perfection. But okay, so it doesn't take. Holy smokes! I didn't even type it. Okay, anyway, so don't expect a full fledged immersion explosion. It's not that, but it's a good solid. I'm not going to need to. I don't think I'm going to need anything else. Yeah, and they're constantly working on it as well. So, um, I mean, it's one of those things where if you want a decent aircraft, I mean, this is it. And then if you buy, and you don't have to buy the whole pack, so you can't really even say that it's $89. No, if you buy the whole family, it's $89. But let's say for example, you just want to fly business jets or whatever. You can just buy the 650, right? So you don't have to go and buy a whole bunch of aircraft you don't ever necessarily use. Like for me, I love the entire series. I'm really fond of it, so I just bought the whole pack. Now, I haven't had the opportunity to stream the 650, but I will say that I bet you this is what's causing the oh, this better not crash my sim. Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. So we won't be using that today. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, explain. You're killing me. You're killing me this morning. Um, so I guess we won't be using that. Apparently, just does not. I'm thinking I know what it is. I'm thinking since I'm streaming as well, perhaps I'm using an additional port. Perhaps I'm using the same port that I'm streaming on, and it does not like it. Um, so yeah, awesome. But Yeah, I haven't had the opportunity to stream the 650 yet. I will at some point. I just haven't been able to stream it yet. But with the 650, you do get the full cabin, the luxury cabin, quote unquote. So you get that, um, but it looks as if they took the 1.3, which is kind of what it is. They took the one through the panel of the 135 and the overhead of the XR, and kind of made it, which I'm sure they've done quite more than that. But I mean, in real life, that's kind of what it is anyway. But there are a few little visual. If you're super petty, you can pick out a couple of things. But other than that, is um, a phenomenal um, airplane to mess with. I mean, just really nice airplane to fly. So um, and like I said, you can. Then you got the 145 XR, which I believe we covered, and the 145. The 140 is basically 145, just minus a few seats. So I really haven't just been chomping at the bit to show you guys that. But I mean, you got options. So don't think you can. I think you can buy like a smaller pack for like $40 or something like that, 40, $50, something like that. Um, so there's that. But yeah, tons of options. And that hopefully at some point I'll be able to show you guys this as soon as my sim starts cooperating. Stop being weird, X-Plane. Oh my gosh, stop being weird. But no, I think, like I said, I think it's my I think and with me streaming, I'm using the same port that Garmin Pilot is trying to use. So guess what? We won't use it. I still have the Fielder version. FFC seems more complicated. I don't think it includes. No, it does not. Now the Fielder version, I have been told, has a more accurate rendition of the Honeywell systems that are found on most Embraers. There are some out there that use the universal FMC, but for the most part, most of them all use the Honeywell version, which I think is what Feel there encompasses. I think that's what they use. FXX. Can you FXX? Can you show? Can you FX? But I'm assuming. Do you want me to sub you? And I'll sub back. Yeah, sure. Heck yeah. Yeah, I don't mind sharing a sub, man. If that's what you're asking, my chat kind of did something strange. I'm not exactly sure what it did, but it did something that blocked part of your message, so I couldn't read the whole thing. Yay, we're back up. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So just I won't blow X-Plane up this time. I promise. Um, but yeah, I'll step back. But yeah, avionics wise, to me, now this is just me. Avionics wise, I think Field Air has a better representation of the avionics. But as far as anything else, that's pretty much it. Graphically, I mean, and it's what I think. God, how old is that thing? It's pretty old. I've had it for years and years and years. So, um, you just got just what it is. But I mean, avionics wise, Phil, they're still leading the pack on that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go ahead and fire up the APU. I'm gonna try to abbreviate the planning process here. That way we can actually get more flying. and less loading. At least that's the intent for today. More flying, less loading. All right, so let's do this again. All right, let's go here and go ahead and turn that on. Turn on our bleeds, packs on both sides. And let's departure. Like I said, it'll be Addison Airport. So we'll type that in there. Runway, what do we say? Runway 15, SID, none of that. Transition, that's not there. Then we go to arrival, and that's XL. Yo, hey bud, what's going on, man? Hope you're having a better morning than I am right now. A few technical difficulties, but I think that was my own doing. Trying to be, trying to be a little extra. Oh yeah, I can get my Garmin Pilot to work at the same time and show the guys everything. It's gonna be awesome. And yeah, I think I broke X-Plane twice in the process of trying doing it. So guess what? We're not gonna do that. We're just gonna keep it simple. And at some point get to Corpus Christi. Not exactly sure when that will be, but hopefully it'll be here soon. So like I said, we gotta put in all this manually, and it is a little aggravating. I probably could port the flight plan over. I probably could go through SimBrief and it'd probably be a little quicker, but you did not clear the whole route. Oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. Let's see. So we're going to be putting in a VOR, which will be Maverick. We'll throw that in there. Tango, tango, tango. Bam. Then we'll put in about to go surfing. Oh, heck yeah, man. No, you have fun, bud. Hopefully your surfing experience will be better than my streaming experience right now. Make sure you keep the blue side up. I mean, well, actually, you'll be on water, so it'll be blue side down. Or, never mind. I don't know. You give us some be safe, is what I'm saying. Oh, man. All right. So, VOR2, which won't be a VOR, that'll actually be a fix. So, we'll go type in fix and Nealon. Man, this took forever last time. Holy cow. Hopefully. Fix. Nealon. And what do we see? The flight level is going to be what? 280, right? So 28,000. Toss that in there. And then we'll save that. And then Wacko. We'll put in Wacko. I mean Waco, sorry. I don't know why I want to say Wacko. Let's see. Waco. We'll throw that in there. Nav not found. The reason being is because it's not Waco, it is actually ACT. Whoops. I've been up for several hours already and the coffee still hasn't kicked in. Did I save that one? So yes, save it. Alright, so Ori, I'll put that in there. Just like that. And bam, she took that. Alright. And then San Antonio, we'll throw this in here as well. Okay. But yeah, to me, and like I said, this is just me. The Honeywell version does, or to me, seems a little more simpler than this version. Like I said, it's just, I mean, it's just me. Oh, route edit. Let's go down here. It should be, oh no, I need to delete that one. Can we delete it from here? Delete. I guess not. I guess we can't delete it. Route. Airways. Water temp is literally 58 degrees and I don't have a wetsuit to keep me warm. I'm a bit scared. Oh my gosh. Well, I am super cold natured, so okay, well I have a nice weather. Oh, you too, bud. But yeah, I'm super cold natured, so I know that wouldn't work for me. Alright, gent, so we must be missing something here. So what we got? Maverick, Nealon, San Antonio. You know what? Man, I don't want to clear this route again. I really don't want to clear this again. Why don't none of these buttons work? Because if I hit clear, it's going to do that. Alrighty. Well, dagnabbit, we'll add it again. Alright, so VOR, Maverick, right? Yep, Maverick. And 11,000, right? 11,000 there. Save that. Alright, then from there, that's going to be fixed, which would be Nealon. Oh my gosh, if I had passengers waiting, I would be screaming right now. Nealon. And this is at 28,000, so we'll do 280 right there, 28,000. But yeah, that's one of the things that kind of I don't know how I quite feel about it with this new system. It's very ingenious. I mean, it's quite unique as far as functionality, and I see where they were trying to accomplish. But I guess those of us who are used to, the more Honeywell style system, there is a bit of you kind of have to unlearn some of, what you knew about the particular setup that we're using here. So that's the only big downside to it, in my opinion. But I mean, like I said, it'll get you from point A to point B, which is, what we're looking for at the end of the day. So here we go here. There we go. Alright, so all the way down to, I think that's what, Zamley, what we're looking for? Yeah, should be Zamley, no, Skids. I'm sorry, Skids. Skids, so there we go. Alright, performance page. 7,000. We'll keep 18 souls on board. 28,000 be cruise altitude. 0.72 Mach will be the speed. 261 is the wind direction at 53 knots. Will be the speed. Not 100% worried about that. Alright, so with that being said, we can execute that guy and we're done again. Whew. Alright, so bring this up to 28,000 feet. And all of our V speeds are already put in, so we don't have to worry about that. Thank goodness. Seatbelt signs are on. Beacon on. Pumps on. And I think we can go ahead and light that number 2. So we'll go ahead and start number 2. Please don't spaz out this time. And yeah, number 2 is lighting up right there, which I think is pretty cool. You can blow up all your little screens there. Pretty handy. Alright, so we got number 2 coming up right there. Let's see here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and fire up number 1. Make sure we're clear on the left. Go ahead and start that left engine. All right, number one's coming up nicely. And number one's lined out right there. So we'll go ahead and probably should have did that earlier, but we'll be fine. And we'll close the guard there. Taxi light on. Engine bleeds on both sides. Alright, anti-ice system set. APU is off. Generator off. And yeah, should be good to go. Double check the performance page one more time, which I think it calls for flaps 9 on the flaps. And I believe the trim is 6 degrees nose up. So we'll go ahead and set that. Alright, close that guy here. Everything looks good down there. Hit the FMS button as our primary nav source. And yeah, we're good to go. We'll go ahead and turn off that parking brake. And see if we can ease out of here. And try not to hit anything in the process. That's the goal. Alright, so we're taking off from 1.5, right? So, not 1.5 right, but you know, 1.5. So we'll, whoops. We'll head south here. I mean, head north, I'm sorry. I'm all confused. Which, in the event you do get confused and you don't have Safe Taxi or all those other toys, what you can do, you can kind of use your HSI as a reference, so you know you're going to be taking off on 1.5. We know when we're taking off on 1.5, our airplane is going to be facing where? 150. So just kind of look where your HSI is in reference to that, and it'll kind of give you at least a general orientation of where the runway should be pointing. You know, just a little tidbit of info there. Oh, let's see. Let's see if my takeoff config thing will work.
Takeoff okay.
So it says no takeoff data here, which I'm pretty sure I missed a step. I don't think I did. Normally your takeoff data is set like up here under takeoff data, but not 100% sure why that doesn't work. But, you know, be fine. It'll be fine. Alright, so we're all should be good to go for takeoff. So we're flaps 9, all that's good. So, well, as soon as we get down to the old short line, we'll make a left-hand turn and get out of here. Did it save my view? Oh yeah, it did. Awesome. Alright, go ahead and roll that power back and we'll coast to the active. At least it cleared up. We had some storms blow through out of nowhere. And pretty interesting. Alright, so looks like we could take that one, but I want all of the runway length. So we're gonna keep moseying on down here into good old, what is that? What's the exit? Alpha. And we'll use this one for departure. Alright, we'll go ahead and wind her down right there. Do one last final check, which would include our strobe lights, landing lights on, hydraulic pumps on, all that set. Everything's dark, which is awesome. So really, you can just jump up here. Okay, we're dark, we're good. You know, so that's pretty cool. All right, so yeah, we're good to go. So we'll fly runway heading, and then we'll probably just go direct to a fix and go from there. So we'll do that. So we'll give her a little gas here. Or fuel, if you want to be technical about it, or send the pulse with modulation input through the FedEx system or whatever it is. Alright. Getting lined up here on the active. Let's see. Okay. We're all set to go there. Let me do some housekeeping here. Get myself together. All right, cool. So go ahead and apply takeoff power. All right, takeoff power is set. Engine estimates limits. Airspeed is indeed alive. Call 80 knots right there.
V1, rotate.
All right.
V2.
All right, pause red climb. You're up. I had to compensate a little bit for that crosswind, so I'm trying to take some of that correction out. Get a little trim down here. And we'll bring them old flaps up, and we'll bring her down to a flying power. Be about 84 on the N1. Alright, looking pretty good. So we'll hit that heading sync button. Go ahead and sync our heading bug up, and we'll hit that heading mode. And we'll try to pitch for 240. Now there is a lot going on here, so don't be afraid to use that autopilot if you need to, since you don't have first officer or anything like that. Don't be afraid to do so. We'll bring her down to about 240. Let her line out for 240, and we're going to keep it in heading mode for a minute. And a little bumpy. Let's see, and it does help. There we go. We'll keep it in heading mode for a minute. Reason why I say that is because we're going to skip this. So where it kind of makes that turn there, we're going to skip that. So we're just going to turn our heading bug to about 210 there. Let's see, actually probably do 222. We'll do that. Something like that. One of those. We'll do those. All right. So we're in heading mode still, right? In heading mode, and she's going to line out. You need to purchase online multiplayer and X-Plane 11. No, actually, you do not. You purchase the X-Plane software, and you're ready to go. So, if you do want to play multiplayer, you can do so. And yeah, just that one-time purchase, and that's it. That is it. All right, so we are getting pretty close to 10,000 feet. Actually, we're at 10,000 feet right there, so we'll go ahead and turn off those landing lights. And seatbelt sign is indeed off. And we'll jump over here to our flight management computer. And we'll go to progress. And it's just calculating, so don't. We'll go to flight plan. And then what we'll do is we'll actually do a direct to. So we're going to skip, we're going to skip TTT. And I'm going to zoom out just a hair. And we're going to go to direct to kneeling. So we'll go down, kneeling, done. And then we'll hit that nav button there. Just make sure before you press the nav button, that your nav source is set to FMS and not nav or something like that. Because if it's on nav and and the radio is tuned to a VOR, it's gonna go to that VOR. So just be aware before you make any changes. Normally, what I do, if I'm about to make a change, let's say if, for example, we're on descent, we're tracking. Not a problem, sir. And welcome to the channel, by the way. But let's say, for example, we're about to shoot an ILS and we're coming off the transition fix off of our star. And what I'll do, I'll go ahead and I'll press the heading sync button and then get it in heading mode. That way, when you press the nav button to try to track the localizer, the airplane doesn't do anything unexpectedly. So you can at least, your transition is smoother. That makes sense. We know that's done quite a bit in the real world as well. So don't be afraid to use that heading mode if necessary. And or let's say you're doing a straight-in approach. Normally, what you can do is you can ident. So we'll ident to localizer and make sure you get the Morse code identifier. Then if we can both confirm, okay, this is blah 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 localizer, or blah 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 ILS or whatever. Then at that point, you can set your course up, on your autopilot, and get it all nice and lined up. Then hit the nav button, and it's a smooth switch. So just little, I don't want to say trick, but little tricks and nuances like that facilitate the smooth operation of the airplane. And we're at the transition altitude, so we'll hit 290 on the altimeter. All right. But yeah, I'm a little bummed out. I was really hoping to try that, but like I said, I think that was the reason why it crashed initially. It's because of course, Garmin Pilot is a flight plan tool, things like that. Well, they also have a moving map feature. So the moving map feature, if you have it tied to, or you can tie it to like Flight Sim or P3D or whatever, or either X-Plane. And X-Plane makes it really easy to do. And if you're by yourself, or not using multiplayer or anything, it works great. But apparently, if whatever software you're using to connect to the internet is using the same port as the port that you're currently, now we could probably change the port, and it works just fine. But if you're streaming or something like that, and you're using ForeFlight and you're using the moving map feature or Garmin Pilot, just make sure that your ports, your software isn't using the same port, which I totally didn't do, and it's my fault. So, for the record, what I explained was all me. All me. Take full responsibility for that. So, anywho. So yeah, we are climbing to flight level 280. So far, so good. Everything looks pretty. Everything's lined out for the most part. I would like to figure out how to remove that. I'm pretty sure it's in one of the processes, and I just either, me didn't read over it or something like that. So that will be something I will need to look at here in the near foreseeable future. But so far, everything looks okay. Cabin altitude 75. I'm not sure how accurate that is. I'm not sure how accurate the pressurization controller is on this version. But I mean it's pressurizing. You'll buy airplanes that supposed to be with custom cabin pressurization system built in, and it you're at 31,000 feet and it's reading 31,000 feet. So that is a plus there. Now, I did notice on the Embraer Legacy, on the 650 version, that all of your engine parameters for some reason were in kilograms. I'm not sure if that was reported just yet, but if you notice and you pull up the legacy and you guys see that, the engine parameters are in kilograms, that's what I'm talking about. I saw that, I actually saw that yesterday. I was like, wait a minute, it's a little odd. And so hopefully that gets patched up or repaired in an update. It'd be pretty nice. Because I mean, well, you could do the conversions, but you kind of want to be able to look down. Oh, my N2 percentage is this, or my, you know. But I looked down here and like everything had kg on it. I'm like, well, because some of the values really didn't even and it really shouldn't even be represented in kilograms. So it was kind of confusing. It was like, wait a minute, what are they? So I don't know. That's like I said, maybe just a bug or something like that. Nothing. If you don't pay attention to that, man, that Legacy is phenomenal. It's awesome. Really good airplane. But if you're a stickler for details, then it may be a little bit of a nuisance. If that makes sense. So just a heads up on that one. So looks like it's a pretty quick flight. About 300 miles, so we should be there here shortly. I'm probably going to do 0.73, 0.72 if she'll do it. Try to get a good decent ground speed. Right now we're at 403 knots, so it's not horrible, but it'd be nice to kind of get something a little better than that. So we'll keep an eye on it, and looks like we're 1,000 foot from our cruise altitude of 28,000, and get her all cleaned up and en route. We'll see what happens here. All right, let's see, yeah, 28,000. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. And then once we hold solid at 28,000, we're going to come up to speed, and then we're going to slowly bring the power back just a little bit, and get her settled in at 28. At 0.72 Mach. It'll come up a little bit. 0.72, 0.73, I think I'd be happy with, honestly. Alright, so I'll bring it down to about 72 on the N1 and see what that gives us. Sometimes you will have to make adjustments depending on, the winds and things like that. Sometimes you'll go through a shear and you'll drop, bloody 20 knots. So you're going to have to account for that. One thing you want to try to be mindful of is that you're moving in a fluid. So, things will change, so if you want to keep the same performance, you got to pay attention, especially with these non-auto throttle typed airplanes. Like your turboprops, this is like a TBM 340 or something weird. Want to try to stay on top of that. Like, for example, we're having to come up a little bit. 0.72. And we'll see what that gives us. like 0.73. See if we can get her to line out. That's pretty solid there. Looks like we're 0.73. That'll work. That'll do. That'll do. So yeah, so right now we're at 0.73 Mach, 28,000 feet. Looking pretty good. Probably jump over here and fuel. Got plenty of fuel. Like I said, I did have some weather in the area, so I didn't want to not have enough fuel in case we needed to beeline it to Houston or anything. Looking pretty solid. Jump back here in the cabin, see what things look like back here. Now this is just me, kind of playing that, wish game, but it would be nice to kind of get, a little scattering of souls on board to kind of, give you that feel, but, it's just nothing major. It'd be kind of cool. You got, folks like Zebo who spoil us with all the awesomeness, and not only that, it's for free. It's kind of where we get to asking for extra things. So I'm gonna stop doing that. So let's let me double check here. So what I'm doing now, double check and see what's going on as far as weather and in Corpus. The winds, it looks like they shifted a little bit. Oh, no, never mind. So they're right out of the east at 11 knots. So looks like they're picking up a little bit. Especially when you go to airports that are really close to the coast. Be very careful. Constantly check the weather. Especially, like I said, airports are really close to the coast, like Corpus Christi, Gulfport, Mississippi, New Orleans. Airports are close, like Milwaukee. Airports are real close to large bodies of water, because the weather will change in an instant. And 1 minute you're at severe clear, everything's awesome, birds are singing, people are playing in fields and all that fun stuff, and after that, it's freaking thunderstorms and everything else. So real sporadic weather at airports close to large bodies of water. Wind shifts as well. Get drastic wind shifts, especially towards the evening. So any opportunity you can get now, definitely check the weather. Call up the flight service station if there are flight service stations even. I don't know. I think they're starting to close them down, but anyway. So yeah, just little things like that, helps volumes when it comes to, getting into a situation you can't really get yourself out of. But this airplane, how some flight management units will have the, you can check weather, things like that. You're not even gonna get that on Honeywell. So it's best to have either, if you have a multi-monitor setup, I would use that, and you can fire up SimBrief. Especially like on your flight plan, SimBrief will give you, a breakdown of, what the weather is supposed to look like, or like a TAF or prognosis chart. I think they have prognosis charts in SimBrief. I forgot. But anyway, what is it? Yeah, TAF, METARs. But the only thing is, they change, and especially if you're going on, long flights or long trips, you want to, have the capability of, checking weather. So you can either pull up an airport. You can come here and let me zoom in so you can see the buttons. Come here, hit the map mode, airport, and find an airport that looks like it would have an ADIS or ASOS or AWAS, one of those weather reporting stations, and pull it up on the little map and tune into that. At least that'll give you kind of an idea of, what's going on around. That's the biggest thing, is not, you're flying to a destination and you have no idea what the weather's doing, especially, in the summertime. I mean, I say summertime. Well, summertime, you got what, thunderstorms, things like that. Winter, you got low freezing levels. You can get in some nasty ice even in the south. You can get in some pretty bad icing. And, the airplane does not want to do anything with a bunch of ice on it. You got that. Then you got, ginormous thunderstorms that pop up, especially like South Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi. Storms that come up out of nowhere, Oklahoma. And, they're not just little. Captain Sim, hi. Hey, Captain Sim, what's going on, bud? Welcome to the channel. Awesome, man. Appreciate you for swinging by. Hope you get some means of entertainment out of this. Hopefully, that's the plan. At least you just missed the awesome screen loading contest we had a few minutes ago. But yeah, definitely welcome to the channel, bud. Appreciate you for swinging by. Sit back and stretch your legs out. Grab a cup of coffee or an alcoholic beverage or whatever it may be, and hang out, man. Nothing fancy here. Like I said, we just X-Craft released the Embraer. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, they just released the Embraer family, and I know I'm geeking out over it. So, where's the ERJ? Yeah, we're in the 135 right now, and the JetSuite X livery or flavor or whatever you want to call it. Well, we're running that right now to Corpus Christi. And I said in previous streams, it's not study level. If you don't have it, it's not study level, but it's a solid airplane. The FMS is a little different, but once you program it a couple times, it'll get you from point A to point B. So just be aware of that. But other than that, I mean, it's a really nice airplane. Full virtual cabin, minus the FMC. A really nice cabin. If I could get my camera to cooperate. Sometimes you can't help. You kind of want it. Well, Zebo does this, and it's like, I don't know. Like I said, it'd be kind of nice to have a little virtual people in the back, but it's just me being petty. Most of the times, I'm up here anyway. Yeah, it's just not a bad bird. Not a bad bird at all. But it's not one of those aircraft that you can just fire up. I mean, heck, I do it. I'll bear it in the F for sure. Oh, I bet. I've had some turds in my day, so I can totally understand where you're coming from, my friend. But it's not one of those airplanes where you just fire up and go do something else. Because like I said, I have kids, so you can't go fire this thing up and go play with the kids or whatever. You can't really do that. I mean, you could, but because there's no auto throttle. So you're constantly having to make adjustments. Even in the real world airplane. I mean, FADEC is great. FADEC works really good. Works really good, like on climb out, because basically you're kind of, you set your power setting and you pitch for whatever, airspeed you want, right? So it works then. It works really good then. I mean, it's kind of what it's designed to do, but it works. Basically just set your power, FedEx catches it, and I'm just flying from Cancun to JFK in A350. Woo! That is a trip. That is a trip. I was kind of looking at one point for a decent A350 or 220, like the new generation of Airbus with the large screens and things like that. I was looking at one point, but I don't do a lot of long hauls. Just because of my lifestyle, I'll squeeze out maybe a couple hours here and there, and that's pretty much it. But I just don't have a whole lot of time for long hauls. I wish I did. I used to, because I've been flight simming for close to 20 years, and heck, I used to set up a flight from Atlanta, Atlanta JF, time remaining 2 hours and 14 minutes. Man, you're almost there. Almost there. But well, is that 2 hours and 14 minutes? Oh, Cancun. Oh yeah, you're almost there. But yeah, I used to have, sell flights from like Atlanta, to oh, what the heck is that place over there? Heathrow. Yeah, Atlanta to Heathrow, and those were awesome, But man, I just now if they had like another really good Concorde come out, I could probably, pick. I could probably, 4 hours. I'll probably do that. But yeah, anything over that, I can't do. I just can't do because I have a little 4-year-old and he loves to come in my office and Sao Paulo. Wow. I did one from, oh yeah, I did one from, it was Atlanta, I think, to Sao Paulo, and that took forever. And like I was younger, so I'll just leave my computer running. But like I said, I have a 4-year-old, and he'll come in and get to moving joysticks and stuff, and before I know it, I'm crashed out in the middle of the Atlantic with the black box, never to be seen again. So I just avoid it. If he comes in and crashes an hour and a half flight, whatever. But I just avoid it for the time being. Maybe one day I'll get to that point again. Hopefully, maybe by that time we'll get a really good A350. I think. Oh, who's doing it? I think there's a developer. I think they're working on some sort of newfangled Airbus that has all the bells and whistles on it. I don't know if that's vaporware or what, but it looked pretty snazzy. I was looking, I was like, oh man, it looks pretty cool. But like I said, I don't know how deep they're going to get into it. Maybe a situation, that they, mimic just the basics. I mean, it seems like the more, and I'll go ahead and tell you guys this: the more complex these add-ons get, the more expensive they're going to be. Just going to give you a heads up now. I think we've passed those days of the Steam gauges and things like that, which I'm not a developer or coder, but I would assume that there'll be a little, something like that will be a little easier to put into code rather than like I think what A350 has the capability to auto land, then stop at a particular taxiway exit, which I'm yeah. So things like that. I'm pretty sure that can be done in Sim, but it would probably come at a huge cost. A huge cost. What was it? The PMDG 747-800 was like what, $200? Something like that, 150, $200. Yeah, but then you can get really high fidelity, borderline, well, this is going to say study level, like the fly the Mad Dog X from Leonardo. Flight Factor 757. You know, you can get those for about 70, $80. But yeah, if it gets all with all the newfangled contraptions and stuff, yeah, it's gonna be pretty pricey. Pretty pricey. So we're pretty close to Corpus. We're about 158 out. Yeah, oh for sure. You know, I mean, whew, $200, and it's. I will say I went out and got the PMDG's 747-800, and I think I died a little bit on the inside when I hit the buy button. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's well worth it. But oh, just when you click the buy button, and it's like, whew. And by the time you've already clicked it and it's done, the damage has been done. But yeah. So but I mean, like I said, it's a really good, it's a really good airplane. I think this, like, for the whole kit, which includes the Legacy 650, the Embraer 135, the 140, and the 145, like $89. Or you can also they can also opt to get the they break the package up, so you can get like the 1650. I mean, the 1650. Yeah, the 1650. That's the newer generation, guys. You hadn't heard of that one yet, but no, the 650. You can get that one for pretty cheap. For what, 40, $50? I don't know. I hadn't even looked at the price. I just seen like the whole family. I'm like, buy, gotta get it. So I went ahead and got the whole kit. But like I said, you can piece it out and get the whole kit for $89, or you can get like the pieces of it for like 49 or something like that, 40, $49, something like that. And works out pretty good. But yeah, anything much past that, it has to be something either I really want or something just like groundbreaking. Some groundbreaking technology, that's something awesome, something new. And I'll do that. But other than that, I'm good. I'm good. So yeah, like I said, we're getting pretty close. Top descent. It's saying 36 miles. I may just wait that, and we may do it like 115. We'll probably start descent by 115 out, and just take it down nice and easy, and go from there. Weather should be pretty clear. We do have some wind coming out of the east at like 11 knots, which is the reason I picked 1-3. That seems to be the better of the two. A better of the options that we have here. I think we're just turned south, so we're just about to cross San Antonio and making our way south, and hitting old Corpus. So I did get some scenery from Corpus, brought to you by Vertical Simulations. So shout out to Vertical for some awesome Corpus scenery. And for the cheap too, it was like $17 for some really good scenery. And so we got that. So we'll see how that looks. Hopefully I didn't mess up the installation, which I believe is just thrown into your custom scenery folder. So hopefully you didn't screw that up. I don't think I did, but you never know. And see what that looks like, and yeah, go from there. So we're making that left turn there, crossing that San Antonio VOR. But San Antonio has a pretty nice scenery for X-Plane. I think it's on the .org that you can find it. It's pretty good, actually. Pretty good. I did that one last week. Did a little quick flight from DFW to SAT, and worked out pretty good. Worked out really good, and I think there's some more scenery for Austin, I think. Pretty much most of the airports I tend to frequent. I normally stay in the southeast. Every now and then, I'll take a flight or two to Minneapolis, Milwaukee, Atlanta. I'll hit those from time to time. So, it just kind of depends on what's going on or how I feel, at the time. Alrighty, so yeah, about 120 out, and once again, those who just come in or new to the channel, welcome. If be sure you shoot a like or sub or whichever, or comment, whichever. It's kind of let me know how I'm doing, what's going on. If I suck at life or whatever, just let me know. And no hard feelings either way. Still shake hands at the end of the day. Alrighty, so I think we're about set up for a descent. So what we're going to do, we're going to back the power up just a hair. Just a hair. We'll let it settle down here. And we'll probably pitch for about 270. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. We'll use vertical speed. And we'll set up for about 18. We'll do 2,100 foot per minute. Which I believe should get us pretty close to about 270. Pretty close, at least in the ballpark. I think you can also put this guy in speed mode, which should catch the same thing. Which, if you're not sure, you can always hit this guy up here, a little FAQ, which is awesome. I love what this guy writes right here. How annoying it is to get something new and run into problems. Yeah, I love that. That's one thing I do appreciate about it. The guy has so much character, really. So let's see, where is it? Where is it? Somewhere. There we go. So yeah. So it really gives you a breakdown of basically what the buttons do. And the difference between the speed mode and flight level change. And which, like I said, they are pretty close. Even looking at this, it'll tell you they're pretty close. But when you're in speed mode, the airplane will pitch for speed. Like we learned in our flying lessons 101. You want to pitch for a certain speed. Use power to control your altitude. So pitch plus power equals performance. And so you got that. And, those of you who do want to, or have to leave or something like that, there is an auto throttle. There's like a little click spot for auto throttle. Where is it? Click the top left screw on the AP panel. So you can click that guy and it, turns on auto throttle, which is pretty nice. Then and then those of us who were wondering, which I did, not gonna lie, I was like, well, where the heck is flaps 18? Well, since flaps 18 isn't really used, they decided just to leave it out, so it's disabled. Which, whatever. So yeah, we're right now we're gonna 230 for, I think the initial approach fix is like 2,000 or something like that, 3,000. I'll probably kick it down here just a little bit. We'll do 25 and bring the power back just a hair. Just a hair. And that should keep us at around 270. Give or take. And like I said, so far everything. Now these do work. Actually, fire handles do work. But pretty much anything that isn't, crucial to normal phases of flight, they disabled. So essential power, that's disabled. Fuel shut off for the APU, that's disabled. Quite a few things are, that you don't really use. Now, the takeoff data, I would have liked to have seen that, because that is used quite often, but whatever, you know. Whatever. Alright, so it's picking up pretty good. Around 19,000 feet. Outside view. I'm gonna be honest, when I first downloaded this livery, it threw me off. I was like, wait a minute, is there something wrong? Why is a stripe? But, you know, and I looked at pictures, and there really is a stripe and a thing like that. So I was like, oh, okay. Gotcha. There's that. Now, I couldn't get this for the pressurization. I couldn't get that to work. Maybe it's not intended to work, but I couldn't get it to work. So, I don't know. Alright, 17,000 feet. Let's see what the altimeter setting should be. Let's see here. So 29903 on the altimeter. So we'll just click it up one time. Boop, there we go. So 29903 is set. Now, let's go ahead. Now we're probably going to end up shooting a visual approach, but what we'll do, we'll go ahead and go through the motions of trying to set this thing up for a for the ILS. Notice how I said try. So let's see. Let's pull up our. Let's see, what was it? I may have gotten this confused if no, here it is right here. Okay. So localizer for. Alright, so let's go here. Now I haven't used this one. Alright, so we'll set this up for, hopefully this cooperates. Alright, 110.30 be the ILS freak. That guy there's that's already set. Now you can go ahead and put in the course. I think you can. We might have to wait. So you can skin this cat a couple ways, right? So what you can do, let's look at our distance real quick. We're 73 out. Let's slow this up just a little bit. Let's slow this up to about 1500. I don't want to descend too terribly fast. So we'll bring it to about 1500. And what we'll do, we'll go ahead and bring that power up just a little bit. Because we don't want too fast of a descent, but then at the same time, we don't want to drag it in, you know. So, alright, now we'll see. Alright, so that's set. Nav1 is set, so that's good. So we can do this a couple of ways. So, normally you will be vectored, you know, or cleared for the straight in or whatever. So you can get yourself on runway heading and press the sync button and sync the course, but you know, I wouldn't just wholeheartedly recommend that. Normally, you would just use the course that's on the plate. So that's what we'll do. We'll once we get close to the initial approach fix, we'll dial in the course. We'll throw it in heading mode, dial in the course, and make sure that's lined out, and then we'll throw it in nav mode and layer track. So we're getting pretty close to being below 10,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and idle those engines and bleed off a little speed. So we'll bring the pitch up a little bit, increase the vertical speed. Decrease the vertical speed about 700 is fine. About 700 foot per minute, and let her bleed down. Alright, so we'll get back into it about 240. Which isn't much. I mean, it's literally barely bumping the throttles and letting her descend. Alright, zoom in a little more there. On my range. And landing lights on. Seatbelt signs are on. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. So, let's double check. So, which I can show you guys this. Alright, so our final approach fix should be where is it? Alright. Was it Ike? No. Sevis, I think. Service? Sevis, something like that. And skids will be the initial approach fix. So we'll hit skids. Like I said, we may just do a visual. I don't know if it's like really clear. We'll probably just do a visual. Starting to get below that layer. Bring my seat height up a little bit. There we go. And we're about 52 miles out, so looking pretty good so far. And let's double check. Landing lights on, seatbelt signs on. We brief the approach so we know what's going on. And should be it. Now what you can do, you can go here to format section, perf, and head on over here to approach, and that'll give you your numbers there. So flaps 45 be 121 knots. If we're hitting flaps 22, it'd be 126. Which I would only, if it were me, I'd only do that if it was windy or something like that. We'll do flaps 22, keep speed up about 126, and do that. Let's see, show this up just a little bit. Let's see. Then bring the altitude all the way down to, I just had it, 2100. Alright, so, and, well, there we go, 2100. That's that. Now, I don't know if there's a special button you need to press or something, I don't know. Should be sat proof. Now, I know normally there's supposed to be some sort of hey, but what's going on, man? There should be a way we can serve V-speeds here, but there's not. I don't think that was modeled, but that's normally how you would set your V-speeds up, is through this little guy here. Hey, man, what's going on, dude? Hope your morning has been pretty good thus far. Let's see. Well, that's totally odd. Awesome, I hear that. All right, so one to go. Didn't I just say 2100? There we go. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. All right, let's see here what we're looking like. Six was. Oh wow, Six Flags, huh? I bet you are sore. I'm pretty sure I had a near-death experience. Man, I tell you, I took the family out to Disney World last year, and I literally almost, it was so freaking hot. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was second guessing my life decisions while I was out there. I mean, it was awful. I mean, just miserable. It was miserable. Alright, let's see. We'll bring this up here. Alright, we'll hold altitude right there. About 30 miles out from the airfield. Yeah, it was terrible though, man. It's like, oh my gosh, it's freaking miserable. It was miserable. Let's see. Alright, so we'll start bringing the power back a little bit. I know it's for summer. Yeah, it was awful. I mean, Florida is, you know, is a very, very humid state, and I mean, I'm from Mississippi, so I'm kind of used to it, but it was just a different kind. I don't know. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh. I swear, I thought I saw Satan selling snow cones out there. It was horrible. Let's see here. Slow down to about 210. And we'll see what she does. And I'll show you guys here this let's see, what's the course? The course should be 132. All right. Should be getting pretty close here in that turn. Hey, Alan, what's going on, bud? Welcome to all the fun and excitement. Getting pretty close to Corpus Christi there. About to hit that final approach fix. And where is that? 150 should be there. That right there. All right, 21 miles out. All right. So here's what we'll do. We're gonna set this guy up and put it on heading mode. So we'll sync it, put it on heading mode. Now she's tracking the heading instead of flight management computer. Now what we'll do from there, we'll change this guy to nav. I can press nav again. Should put us in ILS, which is ICRP, what we want. And I believe the course is 132 for the approach course. So we'll put in, well, if I can not do that, wheel this guy over 132. I think I missed it, but we'll. Right there. Back a little bit. There we go. Alright, so that's that. I mean, that is you sure 132? Because it doesn't look like. Well, I guess it's right. So we're 19 out. So in theory, we should be able to hit that guy. And that should track the localizer for us. Yeah, I see here my favorite. You know it, man. I could not help myself. I was okay. I was initially going to do the King Air 350, but I was like, well, no, I haven't done one with the Embraer 135 yet, so I went ahead and did the 135. And yeah, this thing's freaking awesome. Flipping awesome. All right, we're about 16 DME out. We'll go ahead and slow this guy down to about 180. Bring this guy down a little bit to about $180, give or take, plus or minus. About right. She's bleeding down there. Get her to hold about 180. Be nice. Alright, we'll get back in it. Alright. Seems to be holding 180 nicely. Little wing view there. And I think it's airplanes like this that pretty much that was the coup de grace for all the turboprops, all the Saabs and Embraer 120s. You know, I think you can probably ask any passenger and they'll much rather be on something like this than, you know, a turboprop. Although, you know, my preference would be a little different, but you know, it's just me. So I am looking for the glide slope, and I am not. Do I need to put an APR? Oh, okay, gotcha. So it still stays in that LNAV, lateral navigation mode, even though you gotcha. Okay. And now you know. Let's see, bearing. Put that in there. All right, so we got our approach mode armed. So I'm just gonna bring that power back to about 170 and throw me a little flaps 9 in. Now once we do that, we're going to get under it a little bit with the power because it's going to want to bleed down here and speed quick, and we'll call gear down right there. Bring the power down a little bit. Bleed off some more power, bleed off some more airspeed, and we'll go ahead and call. Should be flaps 22, I think. Yeah, 22. I was about to say 18. I'm afraid there is no 18. Go figure. All right, so we're bleeding down power there, slowing down a little bit, about 145. I'm gonna hold off a little bit before I call flaps 45. Not too long though, but a little bit. All right, flaps 45, and immediately bring in some power. Immediately, because this thing wants to slow down, and we'll go ahead and take the airplane here. My controls and get under it. Some more power. I can hear my old flight instructor now. Get under it. Get under it. What the heck are you talking about? Want to hear how it... Yeah, laying on me. How you cheated death. While I chase this glide slope. Alright, a little power there. A little nose up trim actually.
1,000.
Be nice. Now the attitude, about 5 degrees nose down attitude is about normal. Since there are no, it's kind of like the CRJ 200. Since there are no leading edge slats, it's normal to have a little bit of a nose down attitude, so don't pay it too much attention. All right.
500.
All right. Now the trick is bleeding out this air, this power. I want to roll out. Landing.
$100.
Slowly rotate. Man, that's a little long. A little long, but I'll take it. We're on the brakes there. Spoilers deployed. Reverses out. 60 knots there. Get out of it. And we are here. And we'll go ahead and take this next exit. And we'll call it slick. Almost there. Once again, shout out to Vertical Simulation for an amazing airport. This thing looks awesome. Love the runway textures. Alright, let's see if I can clean this airplane up real quick. Oh, I guess. Let's see, a nice thing. Oh, thank you. Let's see. We'll do a replay real quick. I'm kind of curious. I did float it, and I stayed in ground effect way too long. And let's see if the tower view works pretty good. Point restraint was clicked 27. If I had my hands up like I normally do, chances down would be much higher. Wow. Yeah, that was near death experience. Goodness gracious. Yeah. I mean, it kind of worked out anyway, but yeah, I floated a little much there. Probably should just went ahead and. Now, I think, and this is just me, right? But I do believe the engines were a little A little overpowered. I don't know. I mean, it could just be me, right? But I don't know. It do seemed a hair. I'm gonna try to cabin view real quick. They do seem a hair overpowered. I'm not sure if it's the brakes because I'm on the brakes immediately, right? But not sure if it's the brakes or what. But it does seem a little overpowered. Let's see here. Let's Darius. Yeah, I would have been spazzed out myself, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Would have been totally. What is the livery? This is actually the JetSuite X flavor or livery, whatever. It's actually a really unique paint job, and because I was gonna take it. I was gonna install it because I thought something was wrong with it, but it's not. But this is a charter company, and they're actually based out of Dallas, but all of their operations takes place out on the West Coast in California. So, real nice paint job. It's for their 135 that they operate. But yeah, real nice paint job. A little taxi to the ramp here. It's different. Yeah, very different. Very different. Almost kind of have that. Almost kind of has that. I don't know, God of War, Kratos type look to it, but I'm not a huge fan of my open. Yeah, it's different. um, it's really different. Um, there's a bunch of other charter outfits out there, so so it's I don't know. I mean, there people are releasing paint jobs for this thing like freaking every other day. There's a new paint scheme. So if they don't have what you want or what you're looking for, give it a week or so, and I'm pretty sure somebody will have it. I think we take the general aviation ramp since we're kind of a charter deal. I don't know. Yeah, we'll just roll up in the general aviation ramp. Sure, it'll be fine. And we'll turn the taxi light on. And at some point, it'd be nice to get my APU on. There we go. And we'll brake right there. Nice gentle brake. A little power. Could be worse, like Spirit. Oh man, you don't care too much for Spirit? Highlighter yellow. Yeah, they're loud. I mean, they're unmistakable. You're not gonna miss those guys. For better or worse, unless you're looking for low cost airfare. Alright, so this looks like Atlantic Aviation. Not my favorite FBO, but decent FBO. See if we can make this turn and try not to wash this, bathe this 208 in jet wash. That's what we're going to do anyway. Be fine. Make that sharp turn there. Alright, looks pretty good. Good enough for government work. Alright, so we'll go ahead and connect that APU. Taxi lights off. Seatbelt signs off. And we are good to go. Oh, last but not least, grab that one. There we go. Barely techno. Yeah, I hear you on that, my friend. I hears you. Alrighty, we have made it to Corpus Christi. Didn't kill anybody, and yeah, looks pretty good. Really nice scenery. Once again, shout out to Vertical Simulations for their awesome saw scenery. And yeah, I guess that's it for me. So, Mitch, you take care of yourself, bud, and the rest of you guys take care of yourselves. And yeah, you know, if you get a chance to like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, would be great. If not, that's cool too. And you guys have yourselves a good rest of your Sunday.